was first diagnosed with HIV almost 6 years ago. It was in May 2003. I was using drugs and alcohol at the time, and actually had gone to Kikela to get cleaned up and to have some place to sleep. While I was there, they did an HIV test, and in the process of waiting for the results, I went to Hinamalka inpatient. And about a week or so after I was there, Queens had sent over my results, and the doctor there told me that I was HIV positive.
I was diagnosed with HIV in November of 1991 after my husband got sick. And he was diagnosed right off the bat with full-blown AIDS. And then I had to be tested and then tested my children. And thankfully, both of my children tested negative.
Because I've been diagnosed with HIV since 2003. I'm a walking time bomb, and I'm like no other person, I may not look like I'm HIV positive, but I am.
Another one of my fears was being a woman. I was 26 years old when I was diagnosed. My husband at that time, we thought, was dying. Being a woman, was I ever going to be in another relationship? Was I ever going to have sex again?
I really didn't know where to go from there until there was this one nurse who came from Life Foundation to talk to me, and he brought everything to me. He talked to me, and he was scared of me because the way I looked or whatever. But I was a person who wanted to know what I should do.
I had gotten involved, was referred to Life Foundation, and I got set up with my doctors and began to try and seek services and counseling for my newly diagnosis.
And something was said to me from the gate, and that was people live longer with this disease if they can maintain a positive mental attitude, and I've kind of really held on to that concept.
I'm fighting. The disease is not killing me, because why? I'm going to try to cure the disease. It wasn't that easy for me to talk to anybody, but now I am the person who I am. I can talk to any person. I'm not ashamed of my HIV. I'm not ashamed of telling people who I am, what I am. It's because I want people to learn from me that drugs got me into this. I was really heavy to any drugs you name, I was into it.
I would say that, we're all human, and HIV doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care what color, what age, what sex, what sexual preference you have.
What's it like when you do speaking events, like at high schools or community groups? What sort of reaction do you get from the crowd?
Their eyes, their body motion, they're like, oh God, no. And I get questions like, you don't look like I have HIV. And I tell them, I do. I go, what does a person look like with HIV?
I didn't think I was at risk because I was a young female. And back in the early 80s, 90s, we were seeing a lot of gay men with this disease. And so I didn't even feel like I had anything to do with this. And it just goes to show you, it doesn't discriminate. It's not about who you are. It's about the choices that you make. And the disease is totally preventable. You can take measures to protect yourself. If you are going to be sexually active, if you are using or abusing substances, you may want to think about the actions that happen afterwards, and follow that through, you know.
So I just want you guys to know that be safe, and hope I can at least touch one person.
Made a lot of bad choices, and even though I got this disease from my husband, I know that my choices alone could have gotten me there all by myself.
The hardest part about me telling my status to my family was I had the hardest time telling one person, and that one person was my brother, because he's the closest to me. And I think he knew that I was sick, but when I told him, he told me, that's all right, he still will be there.
You know, if there was anything that I could change for myself, it would be to take my education seriously, because that's not something that was important to me at that time. You know, I was kind of the party girl, and didn't, you know, have much boundaries.
I just want to close out telling people, take the test, find out your status. And I'll thank you for listening, and hope I touch each and every one of you. And please be safe. Thank you.
Getting tested takes 20 minutes, and the more people that know their status have opportunity to access treatment and care, and also you know, can better equip themselves to protect themselves, not just protecting others, but protecting themselves. If you are living with HIV and you've just found out, live to live, don't live to die. Getting involved with Life Foundation helped me to understand what the disease was, know that there was support out there, know that I wasn't alone, that there were other people that had this disease as well, that were living, and not just you know, using the disease to self-destruct. And I got to see that firsthand. And then also what it gave me was an opportunity to give back. And I think that's where the real healing came for me.